We're often told that everything that we have to do is about being with someone. It's about being together with someone, being always in a place where, being in a relationship, I have to be in a relationship to be happy. But what if you could be happy without being in a relationship? What if you actually didn't need to be in a relationship to feel complete and to feel really like life was wonderful? My name is Geeta Sidhu-Robb, and today we're going to be talking about what it's like to actually live consciously and willingly without a partner. Now, why is this so important? It's because it is good to give up the idea that in order to be fulfilled, you have to be with somebody. And I mean, the easiest way to look at this is to actually look at so many people that you know, that I know, who are married or in a couple, and they're miserable. They're absolutely miserable, but they refuse to get out of the couple because actually they want to stay in a relationship more almost than they want to be happy. Or somehow, I'm in a relationship, so I must be happy. I don't know how that works for them, but I do know that that's something that I don't really think that I feel like I have to do. So let's start with this. It's logical. If you are happy as yourself, then you meet somebody else who's happy as themselves, and if you get together, you're both going to be happy. Kind of feels like a logical progression, right? Well, I think that that's true, but then how do you actually get to that place? Firstly, let's not spend time waiting for our prince to come, thinking that actually the key to happiness is when this man turns up, and until then we're going to feel incomplete or alone. Let's just assume that there is nobody who's going to come along and make us happy or to complete us, which really irritates the crap out of me. The thing is that once you manage to be happy alone, you are then going to be happy wherever the heck you are. And you're going to be happy whether you're with someone or you're not with someone, and the chances of you being happy in that couple are going to be much, much higher. Also, who says that when you actually are in a relationship, that you have to stay in that relationship for the whole of your life for it to be a success? I really just don't go with that. I mean, look at how fast life works at the moment, and look how fast we move through everything, and look how fast we're kind of going through everything and like, oh my God, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. We change jobs throughout our lives now. In the old days, people just had one job their whole life. We change countries, we change everything about us. We don't even buy houses as much anymore because people rent so that they can move. Now, would you be therefore considered to be a failure if your relationship didn't last the whole of your life? I mean, if it does and you're happy, you go. But what if it doesn't? What if you're changing and then the person that you're with is also changing? I think relationships are mirrors of who we are. They come to show us actually what we have to polish. They shine up the things that we aren't really happy with, the things that we're uncomfortable with, the things we want somebody else to just take away and do for us. Light bulbs. Really pet peeve here. Don't want to change a light bulb. But what happens if it was this case? What happens if once the learning you've done by the other person and you finish that, you kind of don't need to be with that person anymore? What if you just want to be with this person for 1 year, 17 years? And then you want to go do something else? Does this mean that you're a failure? Does it mean that that relationship failed? Is there a reason we should be filled so much with pain and frustration and be judged by people? Why should that be the case? And that's the other thing. If you think about your relationship as being there just to polish and make better the bits of you that just need to grow, think about why you're always attracting the same kind of person. What about this? What if anybody who comes into our life is actually a reflection of what we project? What if we took responsibility and worked on our own personality, our own personal development, and not thought, if only you would change, my life would be so much better? What if it was that if I changed, and I became wonderful, and I felt wonderful, and I thought genuinely that I was a decent, kind, generous human being, and then the likelihood of me attracting another generous, kind, wonderful human being would be so much higher, don't you think? I remember going to a workshop with a man called Darren Hardy, who's a very, very famous for running, growing your business and helping entrepreneurs with their mindset. And I remember him saying, what he did was he created this list of his perfect wife, and he wrote this incredible list of how amazing she was and how his perfect wife was going to be fantastic and this and beautiful and intelligent. He said, and then he sat down and he looked at this list and he stopped and he said, right, now how do I become the man that attracts this incredible woman? I love that. I love that. So when you write down who your perfect man is going to be, actually, or woman, actually, the perfect thing to then do is to put that page on one side and think, who can I be to attract this incredible person? And then give up the concept of attracting them. Because the better, the happier, the more successful, the more balanced you feel. You don't actually sit there thinking, oh, my life is only going to be complete if I actually meet someone. You start to actually think, do you know what? I can actually do this on my own. And it is always then that you find the person that you're going to meet. It's always the way. Because we don't like looking at ourselves. It's much easier to look at someone else. But I tell you this, you cannot change anyone else. You can only change yourself. And what I don't like, here's a good phrase. How about this? What I don't like about you, I'm willing to change in me. It's actually a really fantastic way to approach life. It's very liberating to know that you're the only person that can decide how you live and who you are going to be. The really wonderful thing about that thought is that actually it will stop fear and other beliefs coming to overwhelm you and making you fit into a mold that you don't want to fit in. Because your friends are getting married, your girlfriends are with somebody, and everything is just all tied up and you're the only person alone. But I want you to celebrate being alone. I want you to enjoy being alone. I want you to get to a place where your life feels so completely balanced that having somebody join you is icing on the cake. Because that is the time where you can actually look at this and think, oh wow, what a perfect time to share my life with somebody. Because often we don't really have a genuine desire to be in a couple. What we genuinely have is a desire not to be alone. And that is a completely different concept. And you know, if you worry about your age and as a woman, and you worry about having children, and you worry about how you're going to do this, there is so much technology available nowadays to support us as women. Go out and get your eggs frozen and get yourself sorted so that you don't have to actually sit and wait for when you're going to have children, because that's why you want to meet somebody. When this technology wasn't available, you literally had to have children because you had to have children before a certain age. This isn't relevant right now. It just literally is not relevant right now. Because there is the ability to freeze your eggs, there is the ability to create embryos, there is the ability to use this technology. I realize this is a really unusual thing to say when we're talking about relationships, but don't get into a relationship because you want kids. Get into a relationship because it's good for you and not for any other damn reason, because only you matter in this process. I don't want you to fit into somebody else's mold. I want you to create your mold. And I want you to be in a relationship because there is a genuine desire on your part to share a life with somebody else. Not because you want to tie that person down to your life forever and ever. That doesn't sound not much fun, does it? If you liked the video, please like. Please subscribe to get a little ping for when we next are going to post videos. And please share with that person who completely is constantly moaning about the fact that they literally hate being alone.